Background music is something you hear, but don't really know that you're hearing in almost every video you watch, unless you do what I did right there and pause the music to signify importance or comedy. See, background music is an art, and it takes a much larger portion of the video creation process than most people think. All of your favorite YouTubers have a different approach to this, and today I'm going to break down some of the vastly different approaches to YouTube's hidden art, background music. Firstly, let's explain the three main factors that go into choosing background music. But first, a message from Obama.
My fellow Americans, make sure you join the Discord, link in the description and in the comments. Gamba is trying to build a sense of community since his channel is very small, and your help would be much appreciated.
Thanks, Obama. Anyways, the first factor, tone. This is probably the simplest factor, but it's also the hardest to master. Here's why. There's a sea of copyright-free music, and only roughly 10% of it is good enough to even consider using. This is because a lot of genres don't work for casual narration. For example, EDM or any extreme genre. Vocals are also a no-go, with them clashing with the narrator's voice, resulting in an effect that makes it feel like the narrator is trying to talk over the music, making the video feel more uncomfortable. Narrow that 10% down even more, when only about 5% of it will fit your tone or mood. See, getting music that has the right tone and fits your mood alone just takes time. Anyone can scroll through copyright-free music databases for a few hours to get a mix of songs that are just right for any mood. However, getting music that actually elaborates on the video's tone and mood takes a hidden skill that very few YouTubers have. I'll provide examples of this later. For now, let's move on to the next factor. Progression. Progression is usually a good thing in music, but for background music, it's to be avoided. But it also can't be absent. See, if background music is just a simple loop with absolutely zero progression, it can get repetitive and annoying. However, the inverse also isn't ideal, with too much progression getting distracting, annoying, and loud. The amount of progression a YouTuber wants in their videos completely depends on the context too, with specific strategies teasing or overwhelming viewers over time. Again, there will be YouTuber-specific examples later. Lastly, budget. For roughly 90% of dedicated YouTubers, copyright music is off limits. Copyright music obviously is really good, and it can also be relatable since the viewer may have heard it before. See, 9 out of 10 YouTubers that use copyrighted music use it because they're not monetized. To get monetized on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and either 4,000 watch hours on normal videos in a year or 10 million views on YouTube Shorts in 90 days. Without monetization though, there's little incentive to go copyright free. Music labels will generally allow their music to be reposted and used on platforms like YouTube, but the label takes 100% of the revenue from those videos. For people who don't make money off of their videos, there's not much of a reason to avoid copyrighted music, since it's basically zero cost. This, like anything, has pros and cons though, since when you do get monetized, you won't make any money off the video in the future, and the video might get demoted in the algorithm since it's not as profitable for YouTube, with the record label taking the lion's share of the ad revenue. In the end, it's up to the creator to make the decision on if the music adds enough to the video to take the algorithmic risk. A great example of this is me using a copyrighted song in one of my next videos, but since it adds so much to the video, I'm taking the risks associated with it. So 90% of YouTubers don't use copyrighted music, and 9% use it because it doesn't cost anything directly. So where does that leave the last 1%? And what does all this have to do with budget? Well, for a fee, you can lease out copyrighted music for videos. The record label won't get the earnings or even a percentage of them. It's just a variable flat rate. This is how movies have songs that you'll recognize without having to pay millions to record label companies if they do well in the box office. I sound like a broken record, but I'll give YouTuber specific examples later. This is the part where you finally get to see your favorite YouTuber's music choice get analyzed, but they probably won't be on here. I took the most unique edge cases amongst newly popular, extremely popular / mainstream, and underground / niche creators, so get ready to see a new name or two. Firstly, Redline. You may not instantly recognize this creator's name, but you'll probably recognize his most recent video, this one. I decided that this was the perfect choice to show how a really creative person uses tone and a variety of music to contribute / elaborate on it. Redline takes music very seriously, with him timestamping every song and cataloging it in its own pastebin folder. This is the type of stuff that takes like an hour to do and is really inefficient in terms of workflows, but it's done because he wants to. He actually cares about the music enough to catalog it and mark it down, which is extremely helpful for other creators who are trying to find some good background music. I mean, look at this, it's borderline obsessive. Secondly, Noob Dog. I'm not focusing on this creator's music choice in general, since it's an average gaming channel's approach, using game music since it's good, has no vocals, and is copyright free. I'm focusing on a specific video in which he hired an editor to produce it. This video is just like any of his others except for this part.
This is very stressful. Why isn't it spawning me? Please.
The music is an eerie loop that plays underneath a video of pure anticipation.
No, it's the end of the half, bro. It's the end of the... Bro, there's literally divine intervention going on right now, man. No. Yes. Yes. I don't even know if I have the strength for this, guys. I really don't.
This continues for a minute or two until the viewer finally sees what they want, ending the anticipation and beginning the excitement.
Throw it. Yes, he never learns his lesson.
The music progresses at this exact moment, not only showing the switch from anticipation to excitement, but also adding to that excitement, and even covertly adding to the anticipation before the switch. This expert progression takes a level of skill and workflow/timeline organization that's hard to quantify. You have to have some sort of musical production experience to even attempt something like this successfully. Not only does it reflect the emotions the viewer is meant to feel, it elaborates on them, making the next part all the more frustrating.
Yes. No, you gotta be kidding me. You've gotta be. All right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing it. I'm done.
Thirdly, Mr. Beast. I know you probably hate hearing more about him at this point, but I think he's necessary to show music as it's used in an entirely business/psychological approach. Also, I just want an excuse to tie psychology into this video. Mr. Beast loves to use artistically simplistic, emotion-centered, cinematic music. This is entirely done to try to either give the viewer an emotion that's supposed to be felt or elaborate on that emotion and add to it subtly. I have no clue on if he leases out his music, gets it copyright free, or if he just hires someone to compose it, but either way, his music is really something. It's really something. But either way, his music is really something that plays on your emotions perfectly. Unfortunately, my fourth and prime example of budget has done some bad things, so I'd rather not bring any exposure to him. Hint, he rides around in an RV, looks like Napoleon Dynamite, and his channel name rhymes with flannel chive. I'm just gonna skip over this part of the script. Long story short, he pays money to lease out music and his team edit it creatively. Anyways, join the Discord, bye.